How's everybody doing? Let me get on my feeds and then we can have some fun with Attachment Wednesdays. No Alicia today. She knows I'm jumping on here. This is actually part of the attachments in my collection, and so I decided to go it alone. Alicia is such a dear friend and a colleague, and I just really, really, really like her. She's just fun to be around. All right, let me just make sure we're up here and I'm not seeing. There we are. Okay. Set up here. Ooh. How's everybody doing? Sorry, let me get on my feet. Okay. Woo. Okay, Facebook's up. Linda, hang on one sec. Let me get YouTube up. My desk is crowded today. Hi, Susan. Because I have a bunch of extra machines on my desk. It's been busy in the shop this week, which is great. So I've got a couple extra machines on the floor behind me. We are probably going to do a whole motor care section soon because of the fact that 2 of the 4 machines I have for service right now need new motors. Yikes, you guys, new motors. Hi, Bryce. Thanks for joining us. All right, let me just say hi to a couple friends, and then we'll get started. If I haven't said it yet, I'm Darlene with Featherweight Doctor here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Thank you for joining me tonight for Attachment Wednesdays. Let me say hi to some friends, and we'll get going. All right, Mel and Joe are on. Hello, hello. Hi, Judy P. Anna Lewis is on from Northern Cal. Becky and Linda are on also. Thanks, guys. And Joanne from Mississippi. Jeannie Wright is on. Hello. Are you new to my YouTube channel? Thanks for joining us tonight. We are doing, Kathy's on from Colville. And Odie is on. Hello, hello. Bonnie is on from Illinois, Lawrence from Ohio, and Nancy from Lake Stevens. Hi, guys. And hello, Blue Diva. Thanks for joining us again from UK. Perfect topic. Great. I wonder if it would actually be easier to find some of these really, really rare vintage parts over in the UK because there was another plant in the UK back in the day. Hi, Patty Smith from Missouri on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. And Bridgetson, yay! And Jeanette and Tina from Iowa, hello, hello. Nancy from Texas. Pauline from Texas, sorry. All right, friends, let's get going. So I was inspired by the last couple of weeks of time with Alicia. So Alicia is my buddy from Dayton, Ohio. She is a fellow colleague of mine. She has a Featherweight business in which she does restoration work and is dipping her toe in the pond of fabric sale on an online basis. And her and I just are fast friends. I just absolutely appreciate her enthusiasm and her encouragement in my business ventures. And I am 100% there to support her also. She is not with me tonight because I have the attachment tonight that we're talking about. We are talking about the embroidery. Let me go to the close-up here. The embroidery attachment. So this is a single thread embroidery attachment. There is another one, a double thread embroidery attachment. It kind of looks like a lobster. I don't have that particular one, but I do have this one. This particular attachment is quite rare and also quite valuable, and it came to me on Happy Accident, which is the best. So I was just on Instagram, so I apologize if you are are seeing this a second time, but I thought I would kind of explain where I got all of this, got this rare part from. So Kathy Zoka says, I want one. When we lived in Arizona, the company started in Arizona, and I hadn't been in business more than a year or so, and I met this great guy who was a living cartoon character. He looked like a tall stick version of Yosemite Sam. He was a 6'5" cowboy from Arkansas, and he was looking to offload his entire collection of machines. So he had 6 machines and some very rare attachments. And he had contacted some of the other dealerships across the country, and him and I struck up a friendship and a deal at the same time. And so Tom and his wonderful wife Judy drove out from Arkansas to Prescott, Arizona to deliver the collection to me, because he could not even fathom putting his babies in a shipping box and sending them to me. So Francis says, very fortunate. Wish I had your kind of luck. I know. Is your thread? Yes, Joanne, we will talk all about the setup of this wonderful little attachment. This is actually the embroidery floss that's laying on its side. So anyway, Tom and his wonderful wife Judy drove out, and I took delivery of 6 machines. There was 2 301s, 2 222s, and 2 221s. I found fast homes for both the 221s and one of the 222s. My specific reason for wanting to purchase Tom's lot was because he had the infamous penguin walking foot. And he also had Ruby, which is my 222. In fact, Ruby's name came from Tom. Ruby was Tom's favorite little great-granddaughter. And so while he was in Prescott, we drove up to Prescott, stayed the weekend with him and Judy. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. You guys, he had a mustache that he would wax up like this. He had a sculpted mustache. He was a wonderful man. But anyway, he was talking about how he was missing his little Ruby, and I thought, what a perfect name to name my Ruby after his great-granddaughter. So anyway, that is how I got a lot of these very unusual attachments. I used my walking foot, my penguin walking foot, all the time on shows, for Quilt As You Go shows, which we will be starting a new Quilt As You Go very shortly. I'm in the final stages with the design work, and then I will be launching it very soon. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, in the meantime, when Alicia and I started collaborating to do the Attachment Wednesdays, I had gone into my vintage little suitcase, the blue suitcase, which is also a valuable collector's item also, in which housed a lot of these parts. And I found this embroidery foot. And I was like, I wonder if I can figure that out. And so I took out a machine and the foot this week. Hi, Sandy Martin. And I've gone to town. I have to admit, I had no idea what I was doing. I landed up on YouTube watching some other people's videos. I didn't even have an instruction manual, so I downloaded a free manual from the internet. Anyway, the trickiest part about using this particular embroidery attachment foot was threading it. It is quite a to-do to thread this thing, and it's not intuitive at all. So I downloaded some instructions, and I started playing with it. So one of the things that you need to have, by the way, this is part number 26538, Singer part number 26538. You do also have to have this secondary, here, let me see if I can. Sorry, guys. Okay, go ahead, Ray, if you want to. So you also do need this sideways spool thing, which goes into one of the oil holes in order to operate this properly. You need both pieces. Okay, let me see if I can center that up. Okay. Reagan's like, wait a second. Kathy says, hi, Franny. And Kim, hello. She said, very descriptive description of him. He looked like a tall, skinny version of Yosemite Sam. And I kid you not, the reason why him and his wife Judy, just total side note, had come all the way to Prescott was because there was an arts and crafts show that weekend, and he was a leather worker by trade. So he had made these beautiful custom purses. And anyway, but he had the chaps on that were literally like twice as wide as his actual leg, with the big mustache, and he had the 10-gallon hat, and he is just a wonderful man. He was a wonderful man. Anyway, hi, Michelle from Oklahoma. All right, so you have to have, let me just tilt this up again. Let's go to the, so you have to have this is my embroidery thread. What it is a, you can go ahead up, is a 12 weight. I bought the Orifil version of it, but it was recommended to use sulky. I just couldn't find sulky, but it's a 12 weight cotton thread. I don't know if you guys know much about weights of threads, but the smaller the number, the heavier the thread. It's a little bit like a tail backward situation. So if you have a 50 weight thread, which is most of the time what we sew with on our featherweights, it's actually finer than the 12 weight cotton thread. It's super confusing. Anyway, so this is, hi Sunny. So this is a 12 weight cotton Orifil. There are lots of threads going on down here. So let me just tip this down here and I'll try to explain as best as I can. So I've got regular thread. You can go to the machine, sweet pea. Regular thread in the bobbin. I've got the Orifil cotton thread coming down off the back, and it is really confusing. All I can say is watch a video and follow the pattern on threading it up. It's mostly on this side actually, and then I have my regular thread coming off of my cone, and it's threaded the regular way through the tension assembly. So let me see if I can show a little bit better. Do you guys see that? See how it's not intuitive how that is threaded up? Okay. Okay, sorry about the drunk driving there. All right, there. Okay, so I did some practicing initially with different stitch lengths, because one of the videos I watched had recommended a 10 to 11 stitch per inch. So that's this tighter row here, and then I went one row down. I changed it to more like a 13, 14 stitches per inch, a little bit more, and it opened it up a little bit, and then I decided I liked the way that the braiding looked on the 10 to 11 stitches per inch. And then I started playing a little bit. So here I was trying to do kind of a, like a wavy design on here. I did a zigzag, but at the end of the day, I think I really just liked the straight line on the outside of the, like if you had a napkin or a table cloth or a table runner. But I thought I would show you guys. Ray, would you come around here and maybe hold this so they can see it?
I can see it perfectly.
You can see
from
it?
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to just do a couple of stitches here. It's very, very, very cool. I have oh, good. Blue Diva says she has this post. She didn't know the 90-degree post. She didn't know what it was part of. That's awesome. Alicia's on. Hi, sweetheart. So this is a little critical step here. I had several times forgot to put my presser foot down. Hello. So I'm just going to go slow because I've got my school bell here, and Lord knows she is not slow. You guys can see these beautiful stitches. Isn't that cool? So if you go back up high, please. So I was trying to think of some like uses for this. Why would you want to try and track one of these feet down? And I came up with a list. So the vintage uses would have been for handkerchief. You know how everybody used to carry a cotton handkerchief in their pocket? Well, I guess some people probably still do. But any type of a decorative edging would have been very appropriate for this particular attachment. If you had napkins or a tablecloth, that would have been a vintage use. I wrote down some modern day uses though, and I thought this was kind of fun. And I want to thank, I've polled a couple of you all today, and I want to thank you for all of your suggestions. Modern day uses would definitely still include napkins and table cloths. Obviously, we don't use handkerchiefs that much anymore as a society or as a culture. But you could very easily do some detail around the bottom hem of a pant or the cuff of a shirt or the collar of a men's shirt would also be a really pretty artistic detail that you could use this particular attachment for. I tried to do some monogramming with it, but honestly, the tight turns were, it wasn't really wanting to do super tight turns. So I imagine you would have to do something pretty large scale in order to do like a monogramming situation. But another good suggestion from a friend of mine at one of my favorite sewing shops today was to do some pillowcase work. What a fabulous idea to have a nice edge on the edge of your pillowcase. Hi, Kathy Heiss. Thanks for joining us. Kathy said I would use it to do applique. Oh, you could totally do an applique tack down too. Again, it doesn't do really tight turns, so you have to be kind of careful about that. Edging on a ruffle, Jerry, that's a great idea. You guys are super good ideas. Hi, Missy. How you doing, sweetheart? All right. It just came on. Which attachment? Oh, hi, Carmen. It is the embroidery attachment, that single thread, not the double thread. Yeah, pillowcase work would be really pretty, I think. Because the bigger you make your stitch, the bigger that cording weave is, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I was just so enamored with it's the detail and the how the whole thing went together. So I just wanted to share this with my community. All right, friends. Well, that was kind of all I had for you tonight. I want to thank you for joining me. Friday, I will be in Idaho, which means that guess who is joining me for my Sip and Sew? Oh, a gift bag, Sandy Martin. That's another good idea. Alicia, Featherweight 38, is sending up a prayer to the attachment. Dear attachment God, please place one of these under my pillow for my birthday or Christmas. Amen. Oh, you guys are full of good ideas. Baby bibs, beach towels. Fabulous. Good ideas. So join me right back here on Friday at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Evil twin sister Denise and I are going to be sipping and sewing from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I know you guys always really enjoy it when she jumps on. You're welcome, Jeannie Wright. Thanks for joining me over on YouTube. Can you show the school? Oh, yeah, sure, of course. This is my school bell. This is my machine named Mary. She had a twin machine here last week, which is now residing with Franny in, can you go to the, are you already on the lower camera? In Kansas. So this attachment, I better turn this off so you guys can see it. This corner right here is called the school bell. What this is it's the bobbin winder, and the whole machine is called the school bell if it has that fancy little corner on it. So this is early 34. Mary is, you can go high. Mary is a second production run ever, because these machines were started being manufactured in 1933. This is an early 34. And her sister, out of her same production run, was just here last week. I actually took a commemorative picture and put it up on my social media account, because that does not happen very often. Never mind an 87-year-old, reunion between two sisters. And ironically, they're both named Mary, which I just think is fun. Oh yeah, Blue Diva, that's another good idea about aprons and summer dresses. You guys are full of good ideas. Full of good ideas. Please don't leave us until you give us. Oh, Rogie. Hi, Peggy Morrison. So Rogie is naughty. He is fine. He had to have a minor sedation surgery to remove one of his toenails because the quick was hanging out and his nail was kind of hanging up over the top of it. And he was not weight bearing as of Monday. And thank goodness I already had his appointment on the calendar anyway, because he just needed to go in for his annual, like some vaccination updates and his well check anyway, and they ended up keeping him to remove the nail. So that's why I couldn't be on Monday. He needed to be picked up in the middle of my broadcast from the vet, and I knew there was going to be some instructions. So he's going through a course of antibiotics, and he's fine. Trust me, he disturbed a baby bunny nest earlier in the yard today. The boy is feeling much better. He's not giving us side eye anymore. He just looked miserable, poor buddy. Jeannie Wright says, I love my school bell. She is so fast. They're the fastest, actually. I can't even explain why. Their gears are a little different than the later models of Featherweights, but I don't think that's it. Because my school bell flies. She absolutely flies. And it is, you have a first production run from your grandmother Ruth. Jeannie, that's awesome. Someday I'll have a 33. Someday. Have never even had the opportunity to buy one. I tried, there was one that came through our shop, and I was going to buy it from the lady, but then she told me it was her great-grandmother's, and I couldn't even bring it up, because that's family machine. That needs to stay in the family. Rogue is better. Little turkey. Tried to eat a bunch of baby bunnies today, you guys. Reagan and I were disgusted with him. But then it turned out he just disturbed the nest and he actually didn't eat anybody. All right, guys. You have been delightful as always. I look forward to seeing you on Friday at 4 o'clock Pacific on Facebook and YouTube. If you haven't already, like this video and feel free to share it to your friends. It helps us with our analytics for the social media accounts. You all are delightful. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on